Alright, so I'm a little bit late to this one, but here we are on the Awakening the Rebellion Discord once again, and as you see, we have more previews for the upcoming Awakening the Clone Wars game, and more units that have been revealed. So here we are, Maxim, one of the developers for Awakening the Clone Wars, is going to be providing all this information, and it is a bunch of space units, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and start revealing them. Our first one is the Admonisher, which is going to be for the Republic. It is a Corvette class, a role of screener. And description: Admonisher corvettes were frequently used by the Republic Judicial Forces to escort VIPs between planets. They are quite slow for their size, but durable and well armored, able to fend off pirate gangs as well as other would-be attackers. 600, 700, lots of repeating point defense lasers. You like that? And yeah, if you want, Casper made a bunch of videos for each one of the units, so definitely check those out. It's a little video, no commentary, nothing like that, but you can kind of see the units in action, so check that out. Behind the code word horse is the workhorse of the Republic's Navy, the BTLB Y-Wings. So the Y-Wings will be an early tech unit, but like other bombers, not be a common sight. The description for them are equipped with strong armor, excellent shielding, and an astromech, giving them superb survivability. Their turret and ion cannons, that's good, give them additional protection against enemy starfighters, but they require escorts as they are often targeted by faster, more numerous enemy craft. They have some decent armor, as you can see, definitely pretty good armor for an early tier bomber. 1500 sensor range isn't special, 1 light dual turbo laser, 1 light dual ion stunner, 2 medium proton torpedoes, so not terrible, so definitely a good early bomber. Although it will be very slow. 270 speeds, 275, I don't think it's too bad. I'm not sure, really. Behind the code word lobster is the Lupus missile frigate, just like the lobster features claws in its front. The Lupus will be an early tech unit for the CIS. The description is all older ships designed to defend large convoys of Trade Federation ships. They're equipped with several long-range weapons in order to defend Lucrehulks and other super freighters from afar, but have low movement speeds and so cannot escape from enemies that manage to get close to them. 3,000 total health, 200 speed, sensor range, look at that, max range of 5,000, ideal range of 4,500. That's pretty good. Heavy artillery rockets, nice. Long range, like dual turbo lasers, like that. So this is pretty cool. They're like a, I don't know, like a little version of like an Architens kind of thing. I personally really like this, especially since they also have rockets as well. 10 population cap, I see myself using a decent chunk of these, like 2 per battle kind of thing. But so far, I really like this. This is one of my favorite units, definitely so far. All right, after a short delay, and then we've got the 2 donuts, of course. All right, so behind the code word is none other than the Lucrehulk, which will come as the droid control ship version as a starting unit, and the battleship version as a high-tech unit. So the description is Lucrehulk droid control ships are refitted Lucrehulk raiders, first developed by the Trade Federation to remotely control planetary invasion forces of the older OOM battle droids. Since the introduction of B-1 battle droids able to operate independently, the processing power of these ships has been dedicated to controlling great swarms of droid fighters and operating superbly effective sensor arrays. Droid control ships do, however, remain vulnerable to indirect combats, dedicated warships, as they are only armed with point defense weapons and a few light turbo lasers. So this is the control ship. So it's got 40,000 hull, but only 10,000 shields. So definitely going to be wanting to focus on heavy turbo lasers and different turbo laser weapons versus this thing, as its shields are only 10,000. Pretty good looking pictures right here. You kind of see this one doesn't have. Well, that's like the glitch picture. This is probably what it looks like actually. For some reason, when you take screenshots, it doesn't put their paint on them. That's true for AOTR as well. Very slow, very, very slow. 8,000 sensor range. I think it's the biggest I've ever seen on any unit, even in AOTR. A lot of fighters, albeit not great fighters, but also a lot of different weapons. But the thing about the Lucrehulk, let's talk about this real quick. You can attack the Lucrehulk. Say you're attacking from this angle, right? You're taking on this one. You're hitting these, what are they called? The points, whatever they're called. The points on this side of the ship. These ones aren't even firing. You're so far away because the Lucrehulk is so big that the hard points, that's the word I was looking for, These hard points aren't even firing, but you're still taking out these ones. I always thought that was a funny thing about the Lucrehulk and some other super capital ships as well. So here is the Lucrehulk battleship, which has heavily refitted with additional armor, shielding, and weaponry. They can function as mobile bases and command centers, able to control entire sectors of space on their own. In combat, they are able to endure large amounts of firepower whilst slowly whittling down the enemy with endless waves of fighters and a vast array of light weaponry. They are, however, somewhat ineffective against heavily armored targets. So a lot of health, 65,000 total health, still 150 speed, 8,000, and you can see they have a lot more weapons. 8 medium long range quad turbo lasers, 8 light versions, 8 more light duels, 8 more singular light long range ones, so like what, 32 total turbo lasers, and they're all long range too, which I like. So really, really deadly unit right there. Even more, well, actually take that back. Less fighters, but more effective fighters. Yeah, not nearly as many fighters, but you do have the hyena bombers and the tri-droids, which is pretty cool as well. Alright, the short, let's see here, what do we got? The Bulwark Battle Cruiser, just like the code word, this thing has some bulk, so it can brawl with almost anything the Republic has in its arsenal. So this is a CIS unit, capital ship. It is a Bulwark battlecruiser. Were designed to eliminate both cruisers and capital ships. They boast a very sturdy frame and an array of close-range ion cannons and turbolasers. Enemies would be wise to try and stop them before they get too close, as few vessels can survive a brawl with a Bulwark. Not bad health. That's pretty good for a capital ship. Heavy armor and anti-turbolaser. So yeah, it is a straight-up brawler. 250 speed is not terrible. 3,000. Not great ranges. So as you can see, close-range dual turbo ion cannons and close-range medium dual turbolasers as well. So you're definitely looking at a very, very close-range centered ship. Another Republic ship, the dagger-shaped Acclimator 2. Acclimator 2s will be advanced cruisers meant for direct ship-to-ship combat. They can be easily distinguished from the Acclimator 1 since they don't feature the Republic livery, instead being only gray. 8,800 or 8,500 total health. This one is, like I said, the Acclimator 2s are best suited for ship-to-ship combat. Their point defense turrets have been replaced by turbolasers, and their shields have been reconfigured to better withstand turbolaser fire. So they do have anti-turbo even for a cruiser, which is pretty cool. However, these changes have put a great strain on the reactor, resulting in a lower top speed. 300 is not terrible, but for a cruiser it's not good. And parts for the hangar bay space for more power generators. So it does have powered weapons, which is a pretty good ability. What does this have ability-wise? Brace, not surprised there. You got supplement drop and sensor reveal. So this one does have sensor reveal. So pretty good abilities for all those. Not bad weapons or fighters though for a battle cruiser. Take that. Here we have the mid-tech cruiser for the CIS, the Auxilia Pursuit Destroyer. Auxilia. Its special feature is, of course, it has a giant composite beam cannon. Check that out. Hence the code word. And no, this certainly is not a texture issue. I don't know what it's talking about, but cool. What is the code word for this thing? This thing. The beam. Cool. Alright, the Auxilia Pursuit Destroyers are built on the same chassis as the Captor carrier, but instead of carrying fighters into battle, they are equipped with laser cannons, an array of turbolasers, and even a composite beam cannon, which allows them to take down cruisers and even capital ships. Their ability to overcharge their engines means that any flaming frigates and cruisers can be swiftly pursued, leaving no survivors. 9,000 health is actually pretty good, especially with medium armor. Light dual turbolasers, so its range isn't terrible. I wonder what the range is for the composite beam. I wonder how good the composite beam is too, because it doesn't. I don't fully understand the composite beam in AOTR, because it seems like it doesn't do a ton, but we'll see. Up next is the hot rod behind it, which is the well-beloved 22 Starfighter. It's the thing that General Grievous was flying in. This small craft has quite some speed behind it, spewing flames like a real hot rod. They are built on Utapau with the intention of being deployed in defense of the planet. These nimble craft carry repeating lasers, making them effective interceptors. So 2 medium repeating lasers, powered engines, 475 speed actually isn't that impressive, but it does have heavy fighter armor. I wonder how common these things are going to be, because it sounds like, based off this, they're not going to be that common, but who knows. Alright, getting close to the end here, we have the Code Word rockets. It's a rocket-shaped BC-714 gunship, which will be a light tech unit for the CIS. These are gunships, by the way, which is interesting. The gunships are actually converted luxury yachts used by the influential members of the Viking clan to traverse the galaxy both quickly and safely. Impressively fast and maneuverable, are equipped with a wide array of different caliber laser cannons and even concussion missiles. This makes them very useful on the battlefield, able to intercept starfighters and gunships, but also fall back when necessary. 400 speed is pretty good for a gunship. That's pretty good health for a gunship as well. And like they said, a good array of weapons, and especially those concussion missiles. Powered engines, pretty cool. I don't really recognize these ships from the Clone Wars, but cool. And the last one is the Z95C. The Z95C is an early tech unit, and not only be a different model from the Z95, it will fill a completely different role. So this is a strike fighter. The Z95C was developed as a more survivable and more versatile, if less agile, replacement for the V19. It is equipped with strong shielding and armed with light lasers for eliminating weak droid fighters. That's pretty good. I actually like this, having a unit dedicated to destroy the mass numbers rather than focus on good units. And a light proton torpedo launcher able to strike opposing frigates. Nice, that's a light proton torpedo. So it's going to be a very versatile unit. I actually really like this thing. I see myself really falling in love with these Z95Cs. I love a good fighter that has good weapons for a fighter role, but also has a little torpedo action. So yeah, definitely check out all these previews if you want to. I'll have the description. In the description will be links to the Discord. You can check these out. Definitely watch all these videos as well if you would like to. Casper did a pretty good job with those. And let me know which one of these is your favorite. I think the Z95C as well as this long-range unit are definitely my two favorites. And man, I know it seems crazy, but we're like 2 months away from when I expect this update to come out, this game to come out. So I know I don't have any information, but I think we're pretty daggone close to this mod coming out, which is very, very exciting. So as always, stay tuned for more on my channel, as I've got some good ideas coming up for this mod.